Good evening, everyone, on this Thursday, February the 1st. Can you believe it's February already? Holy smokes. Things are getting colder. New York's getting colder. We're about to hit a cold snap, a rainy snap. Where are you in the world right now? Tell me where you are and tell me what it's like there. Are you in the Southern Hemisphere? Are you enjoying summer? If so, we're all extremely jealous. Let's start the evening out right with what seems to be the daily $5 Canadian from Andrew Wolkowicz. He's working until 5:30, but everyone should like and share and subscribe to everyone's favorite former bartender. Let's hope it stays that way. I would appreciate it. I think me bartending days are over. Done with the being the barkeep. It's a job I really enjoyed. I have to say, even the last one, I enjoyed it. However, the powers that be in the universe is telling me to go somewhere else and do otherwise, which I'm doing. So let's see, who do we got? Only 32 starting out of the room. It's pretty slow, but that's okay. I want to say hello to everybody. We've got Dave Fitzsimmons, Let's Bash, Space Ace, Dean, Rufus, Sean. Hey, Sean from Sweden. Wow. Bala. They shouldn't count January. It should be the free trial month of the year. Isn't that? Speaking of free trial months, I'll get this after I announce everybody. Vedster's here. Peaceful's here. Carolyn Martin's here. Upvote everyone, please. Yes, please upvote. Listen to that. Nathaniel Hannon in with the super chat. Fort Lickerdale, 73 and sunny. Fort, I've never heard that before. Fort Lickerdale. That could go a variety of ways. Space Ace says, evening from Germany, mild around 8 Celsius. So do the conversions, all of you. And the incredible Jim Lassick, who we've seen so many wonderful wrist shots from, as we have seen from most of you. Jim especially sends off some really great ones. Chicagoland, 53 degrees today. Almost pulled the bike out for a ride. Dude, if we lived in the same town, I'd feel the same way, because I have these two amazing bikes and they just kind of sit out on the deck in question, and they every year I have to just get out the WD-40, and because I don't store them properly, which is absolutely terrible. But yeah, what do you have? Send a picture of your bike, Jim Lassick, and I'll send you pics of my Cannondale V4000DH and my Harrow Extreme 1993 aluminum 7000 series. All XDR'd out, except for the Cannondale, which has sack shifters, an XTR rear derailleur, front derailleur. Actually, no, the front derailleur, I take that back. It's a Sachs cog, because that's a downhill bike. It just has the one giant crank on it. But the rear hub is a 3-speed. It's very cool. We've got Hamish Carpenter, 73 in Scottsdale, Arizona. That's actually pretty cold for Scottsdale, right? Wallace 9, Washington State, 50 degrees. Blues Dog 64, 43 in New Jersey. Mark, Brooklyn. I know what temperature it is there, Mark in Brooklyn. The awesome Pawan Ayo, Dirk. Bala, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Oof. Here in Hungary. Oh, you're in Hungary. How great. Hungry. So JS, who was on my show early on in the first 2 weeks of me doing Dirk Weekdays, his beautiful wife Elizabeth is from Hungary, and he goes there quite often. It's a beautiful place. I'm enjoying some of the Julius Meinl coffee, courtesy of the lovely Michaela from Watch Fashion Please. I usually take an afternoon nap with the cat, but shit didn't happen because the dragon lady from across the hall was doing some kind of cement work, and she's doing her usual illegal things without permits and stuff, and just creating a ruckus. So yeah, so how's everybody tonight? Good. So I don't know what the temperature is here. I would say it's probably about 42. And gray. Gray as gray can get. Grigio in Italiano. Grigio. I'm still getting used to making sure that the conjugations or the verbs match the nouns, and it's the nouns. It's such a pain in the ass. When you grow up speaking a language that doesn't have masculine and feminine, it's kind of confusing. But I do it every day diligently, and yeah. Alain Gilbert, bonsoir, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir, Alain Gilbert. Claude talks. Hiya, Dirk. It's chilly in Brooklyn. Yeah. Are you in Brooklyn? Look at that. JBB. Don't be too hard on the Dragon Lady. She might be a subscriber. Oh, she's not. She's a subscriber to the Communist Party. That's about all she is. Heard about the Awesome Powers and heard about the police migrants. That's a daily occurrence now because we have the greatest mayoral administration to ever hit the New York City scene. It's pretty terrible. And he's got like some scandal. I don't pay much attention to him because I'm not a fan, but apparently it's not good. And that's the thing now. You become, starting with the Donald, you get in there. And then everybody who hates you comes up with a million different things, some warranted, some unwarranted. I've found the Andrew Cuomo thing to be incredibly unwarranted, considering he was doing such a good job. He's touched somebody's shoulder and it started a firestorm. Terrible. Mark from Brooklyn says, Bears. Recession definitely next quarter, though. I don't know what that means. Recession definitely next quarter. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cryptic. Nino, ciao, Nino. Dirk, I'm away for work, so I don't have the kids all over me, and I can listen live for once. Well, welcome to the live stream. You just sent me an email. Don't forget to upvote people. Fantastic. I had a little bit of a computer crash. I had my computer set up for a couple things, so as I'm going to try to walk and chew gum and get those shots up, while we talk. And the problem was I what it is? I had set it up really early, and because my computer's a little bit on the old side, it's time for me to make the upgrade. I'm going to move over to like a Mac Studio because I'm going to need it for music, etc. And now that I'm doing all this streaming, I found that my once state-of-the-art computer from 2015, which was great at the time, and it still has good specs, it's just feeling its age, and that's a problem. So I'm just grabbing a bunch of these pictures. And I did promise the Topester to make sure that he was first because, I kind of fucked up last night and I didn't see it. And it's only because, and I'll be honest with you, everybody's got a different name on the old interweb. That's what it was. I was like, I don't know who that is. But the truth of the matter is I do. And now that I have it. So I'm getting them up. I'm getting them on the other side. So we have them. You know what I thought I'd do tonight? I thought what would be fun is I'm just getting the rest of the last ones up. And if I missed anybody, I will get to it. RG Ray, evening. Oh, so we talking bikes. Nice. Yeah, we could talk bikes until we're blue in the face. The problem is that my bike knowledge, which used to be exemplary, stopped about 20 years ago because that's when I stopped being a real gearhead with the bicycles. You still have a Cannondale F500. I know it from the 90s with Sachs shifting and Magura rims and brakes. Also remember Harrow bikes as Matt Hoffman was a childhood hero. I was a Harrow guy myself. I've had many a Harrow. I still have one of their greatest bikes ever made, the Extreme Hardtail. I always wanted their 1994 downhill bike, which was built by a company called Verliki, and it was a cantilever rear triangle and I'm gonna get real nerdy, right, with a Marzocchi shock absorbing system in the back, and a couple of other companies made that frame but without the bent top tube. Harrow had a bent top tube and it was sexy, but very few of them were made, and it's kind of my grail bike, the one I always wanted. That and the Cannondale, which I have. I could never afford it. And I think I said it before on a recent broadcast where I got it on eBay, new in the box. And it turns out it was Miles Rockwell, who's a big star for Cannondale. One of his cousins sold it to me. He obviously gave it to him and he needed the money, but he sold it to me for $800 and it was a $5,800 bicycle. So crazy town. So thanks. Yeah, we can talk bikes all you want. Send me a picture of your bikes. We'll talk about them. If they're old enough, I'll know everything about them. I know about all the Group O's, but not road bikes. I'm a mountain guy because I'm a rough and tumble kind of fella. Tobster, the Latinx crowd gonna have a really hard time convincing half the world that their entire gendered language is problematic. Well, most of the world has gendered, right? Well, at least all the Romance languages do. That's a good question. I honestly don't know the answer to that. It's like what is it? Just the Romance languages that are gendered? I know you probably mean something completely different. That knowing you so well. The Awesome Power says Trump is coming back. Well, let's see what Scalia says from the grave. If you see what the headlines are there. Nathaniel says to Tobster, since you guys talking amongst yourselves, I might as well make it public. I've never met someone Latin who actually used the term Latinx. Seems to be a white people word. Yeah, it is. It's like it'll probably be in the next manifesto from the American Music and the Motion Picture Association. That'll probably be the next thing. Nino says, I had a Skyway when I was a kid and loved it. My dad threw it out one day without me knowing. If I had it today, it'd be worth thousands. That's really bad. Golf guy. Specialized. Specialized is one of those companies. They're like the tutor of bicycles. They just trudge through. They've had their good times, bad times, but they always make their way into TV shows and movies. Because how you notice like a watch product placements, like Jerry Seinfeld always wore Breitling, and you see on different shows like Mad Men with all the different iterations of Rolex and Omega that Don wore, and I always used to notice that Specialized seemed to be the one that got that, and Klein, because I think Jerry had a Specialized hanging from his wall for years, and then he got a Klein, which was a very unique, very high end bike. Those Kleins, they were pretty amazing. So yeah, whatever happened to George Santos? He's probably doing like he's probably at Geronimo's. So you go to the strip in Las Vegas, and you make a right turn, and you go about 4 miles out into the desert, and you go to this place called Geronimo's, and it's like a lowbrow drag establishment. And I would imagine that's probably where his next campaign will start from. Bala says there should be a quota for gingers too, like a quota of 0. I don't know what that means. Hey, gingers are in, man. I don't know if you know that, but gingers are in, man. Tobster says I'm Mexican and no one in my family gives a fuck about Latinx. Yeah, well, I don't give a shit about LGBTQIXYZ either. I don't give a shit. Dirk, I think we ride different bikes. Well, what do you have? Oh, are you a road cyclist? Is that what it is? Are you like the Campagnolo guy? You have like one of those Mossies, or I mean, I know what most of the good ones are. However, I'm like a bull in a china shop. I'm like, I was mad. I never broke a bone in my body, and I went down the craziest downhill ski lift hoo-has and never even thought about it twice. I flipped over 20 times in a row and never broke my skull. It's amazing. I mean, it's like I've never, ever, ever been on a pair of skis in my entire life. And I say, oh, that looks like so much fun. And I've been forbidden to do that because of my daredevil persuasion. I would probably break my neck. But it just looks so great. And Mary Ryan, one of my oldest friends, she moved to Vermont with her kids because they loved skiing so much, and they live in Vermont, and they're very close to all the slopes, and she loves it. Isn't that great to do what you loved? She just said fuck it, and she went. Amazing. Let's see, James. Hey, James. The paint job on Klein's is a work of art. Yeah, Klein's were crazy. They were absolutely beautiful bikes. I wanted one. I never got one. It's very much like the watch thing. You get Grail bikes. Like I had 2 Grail bikes. I told you about both of them. One of them I'd got, and I still have. And it was built in, I think it's 97. I think that's the year it was released. It's called a Cannondale V4000 DH. And it's like a motorcycle clamp, triple clamp fork. It's really, and it's 50 pounds. It's a heavy beast. RG says, cheers for sharing your MTB background. Awesome deal on your account. Yeah, dude, it was the most, and it's funny because the guy, I bought it and then I never heard from him. Like a month and a half later, one morning at like 8:00 in the morning, a Sam Ash truck pulled up. Sam Ash is I don't know if it's worldwide or nationwide. It's New York. It's a big music store. And it turns out he worked for Sam Ash, and he put it on a Sam Ash truck like a month and a half later, and it came out of a Sam Ash truck in the box. And I looked at it like I went, "Oh my god, what is that?" And I took it, and it had all the stickers on it. It was like I got a Rolex with stickers. It was absolutely crazy. The beautiful, talented, and wonderful Carolyn Martin. Whenever I ride my bike in winter, inevitably somebody in a pickup truck offers to give me a ride, assuming I'm too poor and can't afford a car. It's very sweet that they care. Aww. It's very sweet that you take that stance. Most people would be like, fuck off, right? Dean says, I have a Trek Rail 9.8 XT Gen electric mountain bike. Electric bikes are fun. We have those city bikes here in New York. And during the pandemic, I was utilizing them a lot. And I would get mad if I would go to one of those, bike stations and they wouldn't have any electrics because I got so accustomed to them, or just lazy. JBB says the Mossy, the protagonist in Breaking Away, rode that bike. Yeah, well, that's one of the best, historically, one of the creme de la creme of the road world. I mean, the road guys were a totally different story. All the blood doping. And I mean, the only thing that we had, like, Mean Dykes, and we had Missy Jovi. She was cool. She was from Cannondale, and everybody liked to drink beer after the big runs. It was a very, very, very cool thing. The Awesome Power says, Dirk is a biker. I'm not a motorcycler. No. I have done. You will fit perfectly with the Colorado folks. I've never been to the beautiful state of Colorado, but I've heard it's incredible. Bala from Hungary. I ride a cross bike. I guess that's a hybrid. A Schwinn. Oh, they've got Schwinn in Hungary. How cool. Schwinn's a great American brand. It's probably Chinese now. I can ride it through bike lanes, but also up the levee near the riverbank into the forest, and he loves it. That's great. Space Ace, never thought I'd like an e-mountain bike, but once you try it, you won't go back. I mean, that's the problem with that, You try. I mean, let's face it, they're not electric, they're assist. So you have to pedal, but it just goes further. You just farther. Just makes you go farther. Take the point further. Take the point farther. Take the point farther. Right. I always confuse those two. I shouldn't, but I do. Farther, further, potato. There's a difference though. But yeah, you just hit the crank down, and it just makes you, instead of getting like a half a block, you'll get 3 blocks out of that one stroke, which is amazing. Vaughn says, Dirkus, ciao. Yeah, my friends used to call me Dirkus Maximus. I like that. That was probably after that terrible Ridley Scott movie, Gladiator. I know I'm going to get slagged for not liking that movie. I just thought it was silly. Ridley Scott is so hit or miss for me. I mean, I think he was a great filmmaker at one time, and now I think he's me. I think what's the last great movie he made? Was it Thelma and Louise? Probably. That was a great film. Fawn says, hit the thumbs up, bitches. Yeah, could you do that? That would be really great. We got 74 in the room, which is on our way to our usual 100 and change. Thank you all so much for the upvotes. Closing in on the 2,000 subscribers list. If you could just subscribe if you don't already. I don't want to sound like so many YouTubers out there who are constantly asking for it, but the reason is that once you do that, you get into this algorithm, this echelon of algorithms. And I actually put a list together of, I thought what might be fun tonight is talk about my 10 favorite YouTube channels, because I got to admit that mostly what I watch these days is YouTube. I go on there and I look around for something that interests me. Why now we're talking about all these bikes, but I don't watch any bike channels because I just don't, because it's not in my wheelhouse right now. Watches, travel, music, general, intelligence, trying to, wipe the dust off my brain. But yeah. And I'll get to that in a second before we'll end with the watches, because we always do that. Thanks to Emmett O'Malley last night for coming on in. That was really fun. I got some great emails about what a treat you thought that was to see his baby brother, who's one of my bestie friends in the whole wide world. The O'Malley boys, they're just the greatest. And he's married to Dana. and you know how much we all love her. I want to give a special shout out to my friend, my oldest girlfriend in the whole wide world, Mimi. Today, she texted me with some. She's always full of positive thinking. She lives out in Los Angeles, but she's from my town. She's always filled with positivity, and she sent me some really great thoughts and vibes, and we talked about lemon bars, etc. And I hope you don't mind, Nathaniel. I shared that recipe because I made it, and I wanted to tell you that it is far superior to mine. The cut down on the sugar and the lemon is absolutely perfection. It's the perfect balance. Wow. The Han and family recipe. Thank you for sharing that with me. And I just shared it with her because we were talking about it. She's got a lemon tree in her backyard. So she just goes and picks lemons, which is crazy. Yeah. So Samlet Consulting. Best hour of the day. Well, for me too. Thanks so much. Today I just had to keep vigil over the Dragon Lady because she had her, undocumented, non-permitted workers doing all their illegal stuff that they're constantly doing on my building, and she's nowhere to be found because she's afraid that the policia are going to come and get her. So I did my due diligence against her. Just had to watch her all day and make sure she didn't come anywhere near my teepee. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing most of the day. Then I set up this thing. Then my computer crashed. And I was like, oh, every time I feel like I've set it up to the point where it's perfect and I've got everything ready for the show, it does that. So obviously, and I'm a geek. I'm a rebuild your computer nerd, and I've done that too many times. It's just done. It's just, and I love it. It's been great to me. It's made a couple of records. Got me started on this whole thing. Yeah, it's been a great run. And I just think, sadly, she's coming to a close. So yeah, I'm probably going to go for one of those, because I have to use Mac because I'm a musician and everything I use is made for that. And I haven't been on Windows since 2000. I'm going to probably get a Mac Studio, the M2 varietal or the M1 varietal, because the M3's got everybody's saying that M3 chip is just not where it's at. I watched all the comparison. I forgot to put him in my top 10 because I watched him too. A guy named Marquis Brownlee. I watch him too. Shit, do I have any people of color in my top 10? I have one Asian guy. Thank God. I don't want to get in trouble for putting my favorites out there and not having, conforming to today's politically correct list of requirements for who people are. Do I have any women on there? Oh, shit. I'm a gay dude. I watch a lot of girl shit. I like girly stuff. It's crazy. But I thought that would be fun to talk about. And they're in no particular order because I don't have a favorite YouTube channel per se. I mean, I've got a couple. There's a couple that I watch every single day. And then there's some that I watch occasionally. And then there's also some people that don't put out a lot of content. One of the incredible channels, which is an aviation channel, because as you guys all know, my dad worked for American Airlines for 40 plus years, and it's aviation's in my blood. I'm obsessed with all kinds of commercial. I'm not really the big military guy, though I would kill to go up with like the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels or something like that and experience that kind of thing. The Top Gun stuff. That looks incredible. But I just love commercial aircraft and travel and all the amenities and all that stuff. And there's a billion of these people and they're mostly obnoxious. There's this new guy. He's got like 1 million subscribers too. And I don't even know his name. I'm not going to out him, but he's a British guy. And he's got it all wrong. He'll check into a hotel and he'll complain about the dumbest shit. Like when we a couple of years ago, like we've copywritten, me, my sister Carrie, Dana, Mimi to some extent, Paul, we all talked about it, but we started this thing called the Travel Snobs. And it was basically, this is before anybody was doing like luxury travel reviews and stuff. And it was basically, we were a team of, everybody had a little thing and, bedding and decor and amenities and hotel and service and stuff and all that. And we started it, but we never really got off the ground. Because we were lazy. and we blew it, and other people just kind of went by. You know, the luxury travel expert, that guy, his videos are edited beautifully, and what is that on? I have ink on my hand. Something's on my desk that I didn't realize since yesterday. I keep touching something. I don't know what it is. Um. So this guy, he nitpicks at like you know, when you're in Europe, they have like the radiator rack that's also a towel rack. You know, it's a big metal thing with pipes and tubes, and it's water runs through it, and it gets warm, and you hang your towel on it. And he's British, and he didn't know what that was. I'm not going to say who he is because he's a donkoff. And then he stays at a place and he picks up something, and he just complains about the dumbest shit, and he takes the mattresses apart looking for bed bugs. Meanwhile, he's staying at like the Georges Cinq, or you know, the Hassler in Rome. I'm like, if there's bed bugs in the Hassler in Rome, then it's the end of the world. Absolutely ridiculous. Sam Led Consulting asks if I ever watch Mentor Pilot. Yeah, I watch him all the time. He's I didn't put him in my list, and see, it was so hard. I was going through them all. Like, yeah, I watch him a lot, but you know what? I know so many of the stories that he's going through, but I love all the ATC stuff. I love to hear the actual, conversations that go on between control and the pilots. I'm a really big fan of that. Some really, really good stuff. Topster McDunkey, everyone's favorite far right Republican, mine especially. Look up Mike Patey. He's a super genius aviator and aircraft builder. Look up his scrappy build. Freaking insane. Scrappy build. What does that mean? He's got a scrappy build, or like he builds stuff out of scrap? That's crazy. Nathaniel Hannon, $1.99 U.S. currency. Top Gun stuff will just make you vomit. I'm not a vomiter. I don't get seasick or none of that. That's not going to happen. When planes have really bad turbulence, I go, I like it. I know that sounds stupid, but I do. I really like it. So I just thought I would go through a couple of channels that I watch, and I wonder if you watch them. And I'll make it brief, and I'll just talk about them just a little bit. It's a potpourri of stuff that I like, stuff that I'm made of, and let's just see where we go. Chrome tabs. Let's start with Norm's Rare Guitars, right? So, because I'm a musician and aficionado of all things, I often go to Norm's Rare Guitars. That's in Los Angeles, and that is a place where every single guitar player you've ever heard of in the entire world will go to Norm's to find the guitar, the grail of their dreams. It's where they all go. I mean, you know, Joe Bonamassa and John Mayer and Richie Sambora, and you know, Jimmy Page has been in there, and everyone you could ever imagine, always in there, because this guy has amassed probably, I mean, he's got a vault filled with every kind of vintage, you know, Gibson, Fender, Guild, Gretsch, all the top brands, Martins, everything you could ever dream of. And it's just an amazing thing. Absolutely amazing. So that's one of them. And here's another guy I watch. I'm going to say this right now. This is Todd Zuckerman. He's currently the drummer for Styx. Now, I don't know how you feel about Styx, but if you like drummers, go watch this guy. I think he is the absolute best drummer alive right now. Jazz, rock, magically plays. I don't have a drumstick here, do I? I don't. But he plays traditional grip. You know, like most drummers play like this. You know, he does the traditional grip. And he's absolutely incredible. This guy's a monster player. He's got the best sound I ever heard since John Bonham. Incredible drummer. I watch every video that guy puts out. It's absolutely incredible. I love him. I love him. I love him. He's great. Who else do I watch? Okay, here's a favorite, and it's one of Vashin's favorites too. This is Vicarious Voyager. He's the Asian guy. And he's from Riyadh originally. Don't ask me why. But he travels for work quite extensively, and he's hilarious. This guy is one of the funniest, smartest. He's a super nerd. His reviews are the best of aviation. I mean, I used to watch Nonstop Dan, and him and Oscar just annoy the living schmagegi out of me. Like that would be like me and Paul, like go to the beach, and this is like the flowers we picked out, and oh, Paul really likes a homemade cheese pie. It's a barf, and he's a little bitchy, and I don't like him anymore. This guy, Vicarious Voyager, is fucking hilarious. He's one of the most interesting guys. I urge everybody to go subscribe to his channel. Doesn't put out a lot of content because he's very, very busy doing a lot of stuff, but he's a terrific guy, and he's just it's the best of the best. The other guy I watch who does the same thing, but he's all over the place, is Jeb Brooks, and I'm sure a lot of you probably watch this guy. He recently got married to Suzanne, and she's gotten in on the action, and he likes to go and he does all kinds of reviews, the Jeb score, but he does trains now, which is train travel, which is very romantic and excellent and elegant if you don't do train travel. Really, really cool. He's got a big channel, and man, he's go watch his channel for the watches. Rolex, Patek Philippe, Panerai, Omega, you name it, this guy's got everything. He's got Calatravas, he's got Sky Dwellers, he's got subs up the wazoo, he's got Speedies, he's got Seamasters. AP, you got it. Royal Oak, you want it? There it is. This guy is obviously doing very well for himself because his watch collection is mental, and he's funny about it because he doesn't feature them; they're just on his wrist. But the weird thing is, I said I put a message in there and he deleted it, and I gave the reference number and everything, and I was like, oh, nice, blah blah blah. I forget what it was. It was like a vintage Omega something or other, and he deleted it. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, he didn't like that. When I'm feeling stupid, I watch Joe Scott. Answers with Joe. I don't know if anybody's ever watched this guy. He's got a big channel too. He makes me feel smarter than I am. He's really, really great. It's just a history lesson, a science lesson, space physics, astrophysics, evolution. I mean, it runs a gamut of topics and amazing stuff. I absolutely love him. Answers with Joe, one of my absolute favorites. And everybody I know pretty much watches him. Then I watch Rick Beato. This is something that all musicians watch now, regardless of whether or not you like his interview style, which is not the best. He gets the best. He's got Sting and Nuno Betancourt and Paul Gilbert, and he's had everybody. He's getting everybody. He's about to get everybody. He's going to have Paul McCartney in there soon enough. He'll definitely have that. He's the kind of the be all end all guy. Now he tours and he sells out theaters with his spoken word show. He's become the new Bible. He's also got perfect pitch, or relative, like close to. He's got relative pitches close to perfect. His kid's got perfect pitch. That's how he got started with his kid. Doing like these crazy chords and him naming all the notes within the crazy Stravinsky kind of chord structures. Rick Beato, everybody knows who he is pretty much at this time. But yeah, Rick Beato, I love him. Let's see. Then it gets into the watches. I watched this guy named the English Watch, and I started watching this guy a while ago. And he had a heart attack last year, and he's like a youngish, handsome guy, family man, and he had a heart attack at Disney World. I watch this guy all the time because he is an absolute enthusiast, not a flipper, not one of those sleazy, doesn't have one of the Jerry Springer watch channels that are out there. Like, I won't say who they are, but you know who they are. This is a guy that like wait lists and has his name in the hat for a bunch of different watches that he really loves, and when he finally gets them, he shows them, and he talks about them, and it's a growing channel. I think he's only got about 13,000 subscribers, but I just think he's interesting. He's got a really good voice. He's interesting to talk to. He answers your questions when you say stuff about him on his channel, and blah blah blah. Uh I have to include my friend, right? Because listen, he's my buddy, and the reason why I watch his channel is because I'm a fan of his art. It's how we became friends. You all know him, you all love him. It's Sheen O'Malley, and the reason why I watch his channel is because one, I know what he's going to do because he tells me, and two, like I'm a fan of what he does artistically. I love the music that he made with his band, and I think he's and his daughter is going to be one of the world's greatest directors or cinematographers. There's no doubt about that in my mind. He's got a great eye for style and for framing a shot. I think he's got some of the most beautiful photography in all of the watch world. His story times. I think the channel's gotten to the point now where it's grown into something so incredibly different from what it started out as, and therefore it's no longer the Thomas Watch channel, but it's Yoshino Melly channel. He's my friend. Um, I watch. What do I got here? Let me see. Who do I have to include? Tim Wright, everybody, because you know him, you love him. He's our friend. He's my buddy. He tells the truth. That's why I like his channel. Yeah, sometimes he's got a big panel on there with a lot of people, but he always is the ringleader. He never lets people talk over him. It never turns into a shit show. He might have a lot of people on a show, but he generally only gets people of respect. And when he doesn't, he throws them out. The reason I watch Tim Wright is because Tim tells the truth. And to round out my favorite channels, I have to start and end with the maestro, Tim Masso. Watch reviews with Tim Masso. And is there anybody out there that doesn't think that Tim Masso is the governor? Forget about the fucking pontiff. I mean, this guy will just smoke that pontiff into obliteration. Tim Masso is the guy that knows every reference, every single nuance of a watch. The way he rattles off information, and he does it daily. So I don't know if he stays up till 4 o'clock in the morning researching this stuff, or he's just that knowledgeable. He's the guy that we all turn to anytime I need to know a review of a watch. And oh wow, that's a great watch. I look up Tim Masso, and Tim always tells me exactly what I need to know. It is the most perfect review of watches. I know he does a lot of other things within the channel, but his reviews are the best. A little snick and a snap, you know. He's just the governor, and I don't think there's anybody better than him. And that's those are the channels that I watch. What do you guys watch? Why don't you have everybody's? Why don't you tell me in the description? Put it in the comments. um, yeah, Bala says though she makes the best vaguely watch related travel lifestyle art videos on YouTube. Yeah, it started out, during the pandemic. When did you ever see the beginning? What? Go watch his old videos when he was in a different town before he moved to Venice. He was just outside of Venice, and like the Carabinieri, that's the high Italian police. They were arresting people on the street, and it looks like Amadeus. It's like foggy, and they're wearing cloaks, and people are masked and hooded. It was really exciting stuff, man. Absolutely exciting stuff. Samlet Consulting sticks their early stuff. I guess that's the only stuff that counts. Well, they had that song before they kicked Dennis DeYoung out of the band, which is, I know, apparently he's impossible to deal with. I listen, I've dealt with impossible to deal with people too. But at the end of the day, when you're in a group and you have a sound and you have a thing, you should just keep separate dressing rooms and just have a manager if it's that bad. I just don't see the point in kicking out the guy that is the signature vocal style of your band. They have a guy in there now named Lawrence Gowan who does a fine job, but it's a cover band. And unfortunately, Todd Zuckerman plays with them now, but he did play with them with Dennis for a little while. And you got to watch this guy. Yeah, their early stuff, Paradise Theater and Cornerstone and Crystal Ball and all that stuff. But they had a song called Show Me the Way on one of their later records. And that was a great, great song. I really liked it. Show me the way. Great. And anyway, he did a whole bunch of COVID like live shows in his living room, just played piano and sang, and he sounded incredible. I'm a big fan. Big, 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 big fan. Vaughn asks, I've always enjoyed Stuart Copling's drumming skills. Well, we all do, because he's one of the greatest that there is in the whole wide world. Bala, Dirk, what telly do you have? I'm eyeing a Japanese 50s Fender one. Well, I hope it's Fender one. Don't get a non-Fender one. But I'm worried about the tiny frets on those out of the box. Tiny frets. Well, I happen to have a Telecaster right here, and it's gonna It's my Wonder Woman my see-through Telecaster, and this is a 1995 American custom shop from Corona, California. And it's maple neck bird's eye. I described this the other day. The reason why you can't see it is because it's green and I have a green screen. It's got medium sized frets on it. It's a very, very, very easy to play. It's American. I got it for a good deal. So therefore I went with that. I did have a Japanese Fender Telecaster that I gave to my nephew because he's an amazing musician. I gave it to him for his graduation. And let me tell you something. Thank God he's a big guy because it had a baseball bat neck on it. But it's a great neck and it plays great. And I forget who owned it. It was owned originally by some punk, proto-punk legendary guy whose name I never remembered because I hate punk rock. And I hate when bands say that they're punk rock and try to act like that's cool or rude. Like when you two talk about, well, essentially we're a punk rock band. You are not. But that's about the punkiest thing you ever did, Al Benedetti says Professor Rock. Yeah, I watch Professor Rock. I watch him too. He gets big guests on his show, doesn't he? Right? Vaughn says Long Island Watch, Urban Gentry, Adrian Barker, Teddy Baldassar. I'm mad at Teddy today I was watching a video by Mr. Wonderful. I'm not a big fan of, he's already a big rich guy who's now turning his attention because he collects watches. So of course he gets the golden doors open to him where he's in Vegas at Caesar's Palace at the Bucharest store. And he goes through every brand of watches and does like a promotion. Felt like a commercial for every brand of, every brand. You name them, he mentioned them, and he spooked the living shit out of them. So it's like Teddy does a thing with him, and I'm like, Teddy, Adrian, he's, I don't know, he's cute. Urban Gentry, I used to watch all the time. I don't watch him any. Long Island Watch, he's got commercials on YouTube now. Every time I go to watch a video, it's like, hey, it's Mark from Long Island Watch. You don't need a watch. I don't need a watch, but you want to watch. That's really big. It's got a lot of commercials, and that's really driving me bananas. Bala, Teddy Baldassar puts me to sleep. Great production. Yeah, it's great production quality. Yeah, I don't know what it is about that guy. It's like watching Fred Savage's watch channel. Seems like a nice, benign, milk toasty guy. Yeah. Tim Masso at Watchbox, now renamed the 1916 Company. Did they change the name again? Because Watchbox was their second name. It should just be called Tim Masso and Company, not in Co. and Company. RD Ray says, YouTube, I watch nearly daily The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I watch his show. I'll watch the snippets too. Their monologues, but yeah, I guess so. Well, if you're on the left side of it, because there's no talk show for people whose VU meter goes the other way, because it's mostly. I'm sure Tobster will agree with me. It's mostly a lefty propaganda thing, but it's funny. That's where all the rock stars are. There's like, who do you have on the other side? If you have a big right-wing political rally, you're gonna get Kid Rock and I don't know who else. Terrible, not good. Ted Nugent. Vaughn, I don't need another watch. Yeah, nobody needs another watch. Baldassar is a nice, and his real name is Baldassare. And that kind of drives me crazy too, because it's like I study Italian, I live in Italian. It's like it's Baldassare. He's a nice guy, but he's always just hawking the bigger watches he sells on the website. See, he sells stuff on a website. See, I didn't even know that because I don't care. The second I find out that somebody has a channel and they sell shit like that, then I know Tim does, but he's the governor, so it doesn't really, really matter, So yeah, I don't really know much about that. I just thought, a wristwatch revival. Thanks, P. Ferrand. Yeah, I like that one too. Nathaniel says for $1.99. Ding dong. Carabinieri uniforms are by Giorgio Armani. I didn't know that. But man, they'll stop a clock. Dean, I subscribe to the English Watch. I love that guy. I think he's just a what's his name? Andy. I just find him to be so pleasant. He's a regular bloke who loves fine timepieces, and he picks out pieces that most people don't give a shit about. I mean, he's got the obligatory Speedy and Sub, and a couple things like that, but he's got some cool pieces. Vaughn says, I've never seen Mr. Moss. I'll have to get to know dude. Tell you something right now, man. Wallace 9 says Tim Moss is the greatest. We can watch it. He's the great. He's the governor. There's nobody that knows more about watches. There's no one in the world that knows more about watches than Tim Mosso. He is the dictionary, the encyclopedia, the thesaurus. The guy is, and it's so extemporaneous. You could just see, if you ever watch that, I hate that channel. Oh, I'm not going to say it. That's not, I'd never say what channels you don't like, because now I'm a YouTuber and that's not cool. There's a channel where a guy talks about guitars and he does this the whole time. This Fender Stratocaster was built in 1959. It was made out of swamp ash, alder, and mahogany. At the time, Leo is just reading off of cue cards, and he makes mistakes and he doesn't go back and edit them. If it's live, it's live, but it's not live. And that drives me bananas. If you're going to do a non-live show, get Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve or something and edit that shit. Terrible. I won't say what channel it is, but he's a guitar thing, and Emmett had a little tiff with him, and he's just a douche. I think he said something kind of benign, and he just went off on him, I forgot about, I don't know Watch Crunch, but I love You're Terrific. Of course, we all do. Greg Gutfield, yeah, that guy, yeah, he's if you have ever seen a video by Tori Amos called Spark, that's how I feel about that guy. Not great. Theo and Harris, yeah, those two guys, they're playful, and I guess they did the buddy thing first. I really wished Andrew, who used to have Watchfinder, used to be, this watch is incredible. Look at it, luster. It's made from a titanium alloy and unicorns. That guy had the market on voice, and now he's joining the famous fray, and he's got his mug on the camera, and he does a show with a guy, and it's not as good as it was. And I'm not going to mention the fact that I don't watch Archie Luxury anymore, because I don't. And I will say this, and Oshin will say this, because he was one of our first guests on iBashers. I love Archie Luxury. I've loved his channel since I started getting into the thing. I just don't like what's happened there. I just don't like the associations he has with the lowest common denominator. That whatever I always forget the name of the guy that always wants to eat all the time. They just dragged the whole thing down. Not Archie especially, but just the people he associates with. And I think that's the point Ashim was trying to make when he went on his show. He is the pontiff. We all watched him at some point or another. We all probably bought watches that he had on his show. I wish him the best. It's just I don't watch the channel because it's too much cacophony going on. There's way too much people shouting and yelling, and I think he's highly influenced by the dregs of society that have infiltrated his show, and that's it. But I do think he's the pontiff, and I loved having him on the show. I think he as a person is incredibly charming, and he's an interesting guy. But that's what happens when you fall in with the wrong crowd. It's your mother always said, I don't like the company you keep. You fell in with the wrong crowd. Anyway, I'll get a lot of flack for that, but it's okay. Tobster, everybody's favorite right-wing Republican. One of the best channels on YouTube is Whistlin' Diesel. I used to be offended by the crazy shit he does, like obliterating a brand like New Ferrari, but he's hilarious and kind of genius. I will watch that because I love motor cars as well, and I do watch. Because Paul's a gearhead. He's got tons of. He's into American cars, mostly GMs. But I do love Italian sports car. I went on the Maserati tour in Torino, and it was great. I'd love to go to Modena and go do that thing. Is that good? I'll watch that. Whistlin' Diesel. I will take that into account. How fun is that? Yeah, cool. So it's 10 minutes to the hour. So I'm going to get into your wrist shots because I love you guys and I want to thank you all for always submitting all your great stuff. You know, boom. Okay. Okay, we have a Rolex Submariner here, and that is quite a beautiful. I like your plaid shirt there. Look at that. You have a boo boo on your knuckle. That is some incredible sound system going on there, my friend. Wow, wow, wee wow. I said I'd start the show with you, and I did. Dearest one. Well, you got a pretty big wrist. That watch looks a little small on you. That's the older one, right? Yeah, that's not the current one. That's the 40, right? Looks great on you. Great watch. Love it. Everybody should have a Submariner, right? No date. I'm a big fan of the no date. I don't know what everybody's crazy about. Blah 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 blah. Richard sends his "No Time to Die." Look at that peeking out from underneath that lovely jumper. Look at that. Yeah, on the Milanese. It's great. Yeah. My father-in-law really wants one of these, and he wants me to talk him out of it. And I said, "You're talking to the wrong guy. Why in the world would I do that?" Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. It's beautiful. Thank you, kind sir. Thank you for that. Topes just says that his Submariner is 114060. Yeah, it looks great. I actually prefer that. The newer ones, I think they're too big. I love the old ones. I love the anodized bezels and all that stuff. I mean, when it comes to Rolex, other than that girl, uh, I really love the vintage shit. I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd be collecting like really vintagey stuff, like a turnograph. Oof, with the roulette dial. I love those. I'd love me some of those. Those are great. Who else we got in the window tonight? We have Steve McDonald with his Seiko. Look at that. Marine Master. 1,000 feet, huh? Look at that thing. That's a cool looking watch. I like that band. And look at the knurling on that bezel. That is pretty great. Holy smokes a Rooney. Seiko, man, they just do such great stuff. And people people should know more about it. I mean, they're all about the Grand Seiko, but Seiko in general. And you know what? WJ74, who won the land tortoise, the watch was delivered to him, and nobody's heard a pee pee poo out of that guy. It got stranded a little bit in customs, but hey, that's what happens when you live in another country. This is beautiful. I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. Look at that. I love this. I love the lighting on this. It almost looks like a two-tone bezel. Yeah, I think that they have some of the prettiest knurling in the world. I've never been such a Tudor guy, but I love that. I love that strap too. Huh? Look at another guy with a monster wrist. And those are not small watches. That looks fantastic. That color. Yeah, that's a beauty, man. Absolute beauty. Thank you. That is from PK. Thank you, PK. Love it. Love it. What else we got in the window? Robert F. Bell and Ross. Let's have a looky poo at that. Yeah, these are cool. I mean, they're very unique watches. I know that they've got their detractors and their fans. They're very cool. They look like clocks, and they have a real like late 60s, early 70s retro vibe. And I love where the date is. This is really cool. They're very unique. I mean, is that how you get in there with those screws? Is that how you do it? Because that would be weird if that's the case. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, interesting. This is from Colin Bozard. Oh, he's got a Hublot. There's a Hublot. There's a Hublot on my show. I don't have the hate for Hublot like everybody does. Listen, They're quality timepiece. People seem to hate them. I don't know why. They make a lot of nice pieces. Listen, I don't know. Is there much of a difference between, say, I know this is trying to be a Royal Oak in the worst way ever with its proprietary screws, but they're little H's, right? And it's, what, I mean, it's got like a racing dial and it's got the red chronograph hand. I mean, it's got a lot going on for it. And they're big and chunky. Who started the whole Hublot hate and why? Do we know why? Why people hate Hublot? I mean, I don't know enough about them. I think that watch looks I think it looks very large. I don't think I could pull it off. But I don't know why people hate them so much. I think it's really cool, Colin. I really dig it. I think it's great. And yeah. So my favorite hairy Sicilian, Tony, has got pictures of, right for this, his babies. Look at this. His babies and his babies. Look how cute that is. Dogs and cats are happily accepted to show off on my channel. Look at them having a great time with his absolutely outrageous cosmograph. And then a whole collection over here. Look at that. Wow. Those are beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Love it. Thank you for that. Your dogs are absolutely marvelous. Marvelous. Who was blanked again? Were you blanked, Ray Ray? What do you mean? Did I? Am I done? Ray, I'm gonna go into my email right now. That's what happens. No way. There's no way I'm gonna blank you, my friend. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I'll find it. Well, you just sent me one, pal. Come on. Be fair. I've got a bunch. Hold on. I have a bunch of emails. So let me open them all. And this way, I got everybody in the room. Okay, good. And then I'll get back to the wonderful chats and super chats. What do we got here? Let me go find his right away. This is Al's. Look at this. Oosh. Oh boy. Look at this Bulova, man. Bulova, like striking gold. Look at this beautiful watch. I mean, that dial is to die for. Absolutely beautiful. Look at the texture on that. What is that, like a peach colored? I don't know this model at all, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And Bulova, Bulova was a Queens brand. It was in New York City. Absolutely, completely interesting brand that was based in Queens, New York for the longest time ever. And, they moved. I think China owns them now. China has them now. Okay, so this is just so you know, I'm not blanking out. This is from Ray. Ray, what do you say? Oh, he's got a picture of me on there. God, I look like a rabbi. With this interesting bottle of wine you got there. What's going on here? What is that? I don't even know what that is. This is a mystery. Ray, you have a mystery watch. I'm sure some of you will know. It's crazy backlight. Is that like an Indiglo? I mean, that's an Indiglo, right? Right. I don't know. Hold on. There's more coming. Don't worry. You guys send me a lot of watch pics. I got to go through them all. I will get in a minute. Mr. Vaughn. Oh, it's a G-Shock. Very nice. This is from Mr. Jim Lassick. Ooh, fuck. Well, that's absolutely crazy. Look at this thing. Wow. This is a guy with a lot of style and a lot of class. A lot of class. You're a classy bastard. Look at this thing. Whoosh. Wow. Wow. It looks pristine. Like, do you wash it or like spray it down every time you get home? Is that what's the protocol? Like, I'm a big Rush fan, a big Neil Peart fan, and he was famous for he had like some special kind of thing that was hooked up to his the band's transport, the big tour bus, and it had like a high pressure hose, so he was able to clean the living shit out of it. Amazing. Hey, Vaughn. I'm going through my email right now. I'm going through all the folders for that one guy that says that I don't find stuff. Where am I missing it? It's got to be there somewhere, right? Present, share screen. We got. This is nice. This is from Brett. He's the Zen guy. He's a Zen crazy, Zen wild. Yeah, I got to try a bunch of those on that when the chef in my restaurant was trying to sell me a couple of those, and I thought they were great. I love the matte dial. Is anybody a big fan of the matte dial? You know what I love about matte dials is they get tropical. They're the ones that go tropical later on, which is really, really cool. A lot of times, like the glossy ones will just get kind of funny looking at the end, but those are the ones that get that beautiful kind of tropical patina, chocolate dial, etc., etc., etc. Hey Vaughn, just in the chats, tell me what watch that you sent because I'm looking for it right now and I don't see it. Like I said, sometimes your names are different than your names on the YouTube. If it got mismatched, just tell me what. Just type in real quick which watch it is, and if that's what's in the email, or send it to me again right now, so it'll be at the top. Show Enough says fake Irish Psycho on YouTube promoted the hate, but they are overpriced watches. Promoted the hate, but I don't know who the fake Irish. Oh, him. Oh, yeah. Promoted the hate. Oh, you're talking about him. Now I get it. Yeah. He's the first guy that came up with the gold tear and the blah blah blah. And isn't it amazing though? Can I just say this? And listen, I don't know the guy, and whatever, and I just know about the drama. How come that channel? How come that channel exploded to the point where it did? And he has producers and a team. He's works for a production company, and like he got like a million, $1 trillion deal to work with all these. He's got like a live producer, and I'm not saying that it's one of those Jerry Springery channels. He knows a lot about watches. He's got a Ferrari. He knows about cars. Seamaster white strap. I totally want that one. Okay, hold on. Oh my God, Seamaster white strap. I got to check my junk mail, man. See if you put something funny in there, because I don't see that. Did you send me a new one? Send me a new one right now. Can you send me a new one? Because I honestly swear to God, I don't see a Seamaster with a white strap, but I really want to put that on. I'm going to show everybody. Let me go look in my junk folder. Huh. No, but I found Wallace Nine's got his wrist shot in there. He's got his Grand Seiko in there. See, that can happen. It can happen. Thomas Vosky. You got to watch for me too? Yeah, you do. There's a bunch. I'm so sorry. There's a bunch. I don't know why that would be, but that does happen. What I'm going to do? I think it's iCloud. So starting, I'll set it up tonight. I'm going to come up with like basherdirk@gmail.com. I'm going to make a new email just for this channel, because this was not originally just for this channel, but I was talking to the big guy and he says it's probably better that I do that. And he's probably right. Just have an email that's just for this channel. Right. Did you send me, Vaughn, could you send me a new one, please? Send me a new one. I got a couple of new watches in the pipeline, so I can do that. So, oh yeah, let me get this going right now. That's beautiful. Oh, thank you. Second attempt, but there's no picture. You just sent me one, but there's no one. I just got it, but there's no picture. It says second attempt. Yeah, so let me look. Hold on. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. Let me give you something to look at in the interim. Got that. Okay. Zin is so underrated. Let me go. I'll get back to those in a second. I know I'm over, but fuck it. I don't care. RP 1960 with a super chat. Thank you so much. $4.99. Thanks for another great show. Thank you. Sorry about my floundering at the end, but unfortunately, Sheen is right. He goes, you got to set up a special. You have to do your own email just for the channel. Do about Dirk Bashers at Gmail, and he's right. I definitely do. I definitely need to do that. JBB says, takes a lick and keeps on ticking. I told Dasheen that he had never heard that before, but that was Timex's logo when I was a kid. Sam Lick Consulting, says Rabbi Dirkowitz. I'd be a great rabbi because I would be the cantor. Man, I used to go synagogue hopping when I was a kid. Thank God for my Jewish neighborhood, because like there would be all these great cantors, and I would go in there, and my friend Mimi used to laugh at me all the time. It was just so funny, but it's beautiful. It's like I just get entranced. When I was in Greece touring with my band, we were playing in Athens, and there's this really ancient Orthodox church, and I went in there, and there was like these 4 guys in a box. They were like with long beards and robes and doing choral work. It was so magical. I absolutely loved it. Topster says that Tim Moss is a huge sin guy, and that's all he wore for a long time. But you know what his favorite watch is? Milk House. So funny. You're raised Catholic, so you can't wear a watch that says sin on the dial. That's really funny. Okay, let's go back to this and let's see. Did you resend me one with the shot in it? I don't see it. VAUGHN. Vaughn. Well, nope, not getting it. I'm waiting for it. I'll wait for it until you send it. I see your email. I got it. Yeah, it should be here, right? I don't see it. I got the one that says second attempt, just so you know, but I did get some other ones. So I'm going to get to those while you hopefully send me yours. This is from Jim Lassick. This is great. He sent me this this morning. And this, he's got a little story here. I can read it, right? I don't want to get the emails in there. He got this a long time ago. It's a 36. Does not write for him, so his wife wears it now. Absolutely beautiful piece. I mean, that dial is stunning. Carolyn, what do you think about that, huh? That makes a lovely ladies' watch. An old watch lady would love that too. I think that looks great for the ladies. 2-tone, beautiful blue dial, diamond set, factory diamonds. That is great. Really great. It's beautiful. The Jubilee. I love it. Thanks for that. Okay. What else we got? Got a bunch new. What we got here? As per your request. This is from Thomas Foss. That is a really cool piece. I love the Oyster Perpetuals. I think they're beautiful. Those are the new ones, the new black ones that was like so impossible to get, right? Absolutely crazy. Love it. Beautiful. Thank you for that. I got a watch from the incredible Carolyn Martin. Where is it? There it is. Oh God, that's the green one or the black one? That's her daily. Well, nobody's gonna say anything about a beautiful Seamaster. Except Vaughn, who's got one on a white strap that I haven't seen yet. He says sent. No, the email came through, Vaughn. It did. It just didn't have the picture in it. So if you could just resend it, I'll end the show on you. I will adorn you with praise and glory, and I'll keep your picture up because I really want to see it. I feel defeated, and I don't want to. Anyway, this is an absolutely beautiful piece. Who doesn't love that? Thank you, Carolyn. You're an angel, as we all know. In the world, Wallace 9. Let me get a picture of his Grand Seiko. With the dials on the Grand Seikos are just, I don't know what to say about that. Look at the work and the craftsmanship that goes into these. And this is today, obviously, right? Look at today on his manly wrist. It is foresty forearm with the beautiful spring drive. It's one of the most accurate watches in the world. I think it's like almost as accurate as quartz. Something to be said about this beautiful piece. Absolutely glorious. Thank you for that. I love Grand Seiko. Love it. Love it. I love it. What else I got left? Is that it? That's it. That's all I got. Unless I got another new one. Did I get one from you? Did you do it? Did you do it? Did you end it? Did Vaughn? Okay. Oh, I got it. Hey, Vaughn, let's get that rocking. This is great. Okay. Thank you so much for that. And I'll share this right now. Thank you, Vaughn. You're a trooper. Look at that. His Seamaster, his ceramic Seamaster with the white rubber, looking great. That's a summer look if I ever saw one. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, wasn't that worth the wait, kiddies? It was worth the wait. Thank you so much. I love it. Very sweet blue dial. I love the blue dial. I love all the iterations of this watch. And I think if it wasn't for, this is just what I'm good for my 2 cents, and you all guys all know that I'm an Omega lunatic. If they went back to the old bezel, the old knurling on the previous Speedmaster generations, I think it would do better. I think that people say that even though like 99.999% of people don't actually dive with divers, but they say that it's hard to turn comparatively to say like a Submariner, for sure. I think that would make all the difference in the world if for the next iteration they just tightened up that, because it's it's very sparse and you could probably slip because there's a lot of real estate. I've turned those a couple of times and I'm like, yeah, they don't turn as easily as like say a Sub does or a Tudor or any of the ones that have the tighter knurling on them. That is definitely Sam Led Consulting says that's a Seamaster for Yacht Week in Croatia. Man, I'm going on vacation with you, Sam Led Consulting. Have you been to Croatia? I have, because Paul's half Croatian, and we went there in search of my father-in-law's father's heritage, which we found in an island called Veliluka off of the coast of Dubrovnik. It was one of the most beautiful things ever, ever, ever. Crazy. Thank you for that. Wasn't that worth it? It was so worth it for me. Hey, Kieran P. Dirk, I got YSL M7 because you kept going on about the old version. I'm not crazy about it. Is there that much of a difference between now and the past? Kieran, did you pay that kind of money for the original formula of M7? Did you buy the original one, the all 4 sides glass iteration of M7? Or do you have one that has clear on one side, or do you have the newer versions that are in the short square bottle with the big clunky black knob? Oh, you have the new version. Well, yeah, it's not the same juice at all. It's not the same fragrance. I don't dislike that, but it's certainly not anything like the original M7. The original M7 had 4 ingredients, four notes, which was like myrrh, amber, oud, and I think it was patchouli or bergamot. It was like nothing. It was really dark and oudy. And the new one's a little bit lighter and fresher. Do me a favor, dirkkennedy@icloud.com. I will change my email because it's time. I'll do Dirk Basher at Gmail. I'm sure nobody has that. I'll announce it tomorrow because I'll make it tonight. Send me pictures. Take a shot of the juice and the bottle and the box and all that stuff, and send it on to me. And then we'll talk back and forth about it. I mean, I don't know what kind of a fella you are. Are you a big bloke, little bloke, pretty bloke, masculine bloke? Where do you fall on the spectrum? Because that stuff, M7 is, I mean, listen, if you're like a pretty little twink, I don't think it's going to be the best thing for you. But if you're like kind of a beefy, hairy, macho ear guy, or somewhere in the middle, it's hyper masculine. It's like not as masculine as Antaeus by Chanel, which is, I think, the most masculine fragrance ever made. but it's pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. Vedster says 2. Look at this. I don't want to forget this. 2 pounds. I am Croatian, loving Scotland, or living and loving in Scotland. That's cool. I've never been to Scotland. I've been to Croatia, and Croatia. I'm sure it's not. I was there in 2016. It was still on the Kuna, and we were getting away with murder. Kieran P says, I'm an average Dublin bloke. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It's just not for me. But for 70 quid, I said, fuck it, we'll try it and see what the new version's like. Where did you get it? So you bought it in a store, so which means it's the new one. Because originally it was called M7, and then they changed the formula. And they kept the bottle, but they changed the bottle a little bit. Then they went away. And then they came back with M7 Oud Absolute. And then they took the Oud Absolute. So now it comes in like a clear, square bottle, squatty bottle with a big black kind of square top on it. That is not, it has no relationship to the original M7 whatsoever. I mean, I like it. At 70 bucks, 70 euros is not terrible for like a premium fragrance. But yeah, can you return fragrance? if you hate it, go and get a bottle of Eau Sauvage, not that new Sauvage crap that Johnny Depp spruiks, the original Eau Sauvage. That's for manly men. Okay, so I did make a promise, and Nathaniel says, don't forget. And we got so caught up in all the stuff. So I'm going to make lemon bars to somebody who is in the United States or Canada. I love you guys that are across the ponds on either side, but it's food and it's very hard to do so. So if you are in the United States or Canada, I'm going to write down on a piece of paper using my absolutely beautiful writing instrument. Okay. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write a number down from 1 to 50. And whoever gets it first gets the, let me get a piece of paper. Whoever gets it first, then you email me your address, and I'm going to send you out lemon bars, and I'm going to use Nathaniel Hannon's family recipe because it was better than mine. A man can admit when he's wrong. I'm going to pick out a number from 1 to 50, and it's on this piece of paper, and it's going to start about now, and I'm going to make you lemon bars tonight and mail them out tomorrow. So don't start with the numbers already, you maniac lunatics. Did you all start with the numbers already? Let's see. Did anybody get it? All right, nobody got it yet, so keep them coming. Hey, Scotty H, I see you. Okay. 38 plus 6. 4, you're an asshole. Carolyn Martin. It feels like cheating. I have your address. Nobody got it before her, just to make sure. 51, 6, 37, 24. Let me make sure it's the first one. Just to be fair. Because, now you're the first, my dearest. Oh, God, that's so funny. All right, you guys can stop. She won. Carolyn Martin is getting the lemon bars with Nathaniel Hannon's recipe. Yeah, it's all Carolyn. Yeah. Well, we're not in Santa Barbara, Sam-led Consulting, where we all meet up for dinner. We'll all go to the windmill or whatever it's called now when we get out there. No, we did not cheat. I felt like cheating, though. Felt like cheating. I just mailed her soda bread like last week, and it was her birthday. Everybody, tomorrow is Dana's birthday. Maybe I could drag her on the show. Just want to wish Dana O'Malley a happy birthday tomorrow. We all know and love her, and we love when she's on the show and all of that great stuff. So, Carolyn, I'll make those lemon bars tonight, and I'll put them. Maybe I'll do it on Monday, because you know what? It'll get caught up in the weekend fracas. We'll talk. We'll talk and see what's best for you, and then I'll just work around your thing because I know that the postal service just decides to lay an egg, and that's really not worth it. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So thank you so much, everybody, for coming in. Just let me make sure I get all of the. Want to make sure I highlight all the super chats from tonight. Is Andrew Okowicz, Canadian $5, Nathaniel Hannon, Alain Gobert, super sticker $3.99. Thank you so much. I think I might have missed that earlier, right? If I did, ding, ding, dingy. Alain Gobert, I didn't forget you, my friend. The Awesome Pawan, $1.99. Did I miss that too? I might have missed a bunch because I was talking with my big fat head. Good stream, Jerky. Still waiting for your IPA. That's never going to happen. I hate IPA. It tastes like a rusty pipe. Nathaniel Hannon, $1.99. Top gun stuff. You know it. Carabinieri uniforms, Nathaniel Hannon, $1.99. RP 1960, $4.99. Thank you so much. Fedster, €2, £2 sterling. Look at that. I'm Croatian, living and loving in Scotland, and all of that great stuff. Thank you all for joining me on this Thursday. I am back tomorrow with the big guy, and we will be doing the classic bashers that you all know and love. And yeah, so then we'll be back also on Monday with Watch Fashion Police. So until then, remember to say please and thank you. Hold the door open for somebody. And most of all, what's really important in this life is to not be a dick. Thank you.